Hey guys, how's it going? This is Davin with davindeedoodles, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I am taking a break from the rake, but I am going to do a color and chat with some Jade Summer. I just wanted something that didn't have quite as much detail. I'm in kind of a headspace where I need to just tone it down a little bit, unwind, untangle my thoughts. I'm a little bit stressed out, and something with a bigger character and less details really just kind of calls out to me right now. So I'm hoping that this will help, and I figured I would bring you guys along for the ride. Maybe I'll just do the character and the big moon in the background and then post up the finished image on Instagram. I can't even talk today, you guys. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. So anyway, I want to go ahead and get started, and as usual, I highly encourage you to get a drink, which should either be coffee or tea on this channel, and get a snack and get your craft and go ahead and join me on this color and chat journey, which will hopefully help me de-stress. So with all that said, I wanted to go ahead and open up with the fact that I am so excited to get some new supplies in. I've been having a really hard time actually getting the products. USPS seems to like to lose my stuff, and they lost about $50 worth of things that are hopefully being replaced. They're in the mail and should be here tomorrow. So if that does come, I'm going to be super excited and really tempted to show you guys. But what I think I'm going to try and do is hold off until I finish looking at this deals and stuff for Black Friday. I'm really hoping there will be some interesting creative art supplies, things like that, really good deals that you wouldn't obviously get any other time of the year. And I don't want to go ahead and do a haul video for November and then post up 2 days later and be like, oh, I also got this. And it's also technically in November, so it doesn't make sense. So I figure I'll wait until after Black Friday just in case I get impulsive and buy something, and maybe release a nice haul video in December. But it's just killing me because I want so bad to show you guys what I got. I'm so excited to use them. And I did get some books, and I really wanted to color in those books today. But I was like, no, I should really do the haul video first. That way people aren't asking where these books came from because I haven't shown them yet. So that's kind of what's going on right now. And it's just irritating because I'm like, are they going to come or are they not going to come? They better come because I spent a lot of money on this stuff. And obviously I need it. Well, I don't need it, but I spent money on it, so I should get it. But USPS likes to not give me my shipments. I've had issues before where I've ordered probably 5 or 6 things in the past and they never arrived. I would contact the company and they would send me replacements and they would not arrive. And I just let those go because those weren't terribly expensive, and I was just irritated and not wanting to deal with it because, I'm 5. And 4 months later, the office that runs my apartment building called me and they're like, are you missing packages or something? Because you've got stuff in here from 4 months ago. And I had no idea what they were talking about, because the way my apartment building actually works is there's your mailroom, you have your mailbox, and USPS doesn't deliver packages there. What they do is they will either drop off packages at the office, which I had already checked and they were not at the office. And I guess because the office got tired of accepting packages, they actually have a dedicated package hub now. And it's a room that you're supposed to need your key card to get into. And it's a room of wall-to-wall lockers, and when they drop off your package, they're supposed to enter a code for the locker that has your item. You go in, you enter your code, and it pops open, and you just take your stuff and leave. Well, USPS wasn't doing that, and I assume they're still not, because my stuff never arrived, and, it was actually the stuff that I had ordered before that the office was calling me about had arrived, and it was 4 months later and they're like, yeah, you have stuff in here, and I'm going, I had no idea. The freaking guy never put in the stuff, so I didn't know. I was very frustrated, and so I have the feeling that's what happened this time. But like the office won't check for me because they're jerks and just don't want to. But the company that I bought it from did send replacements, so I'm really hoping that it's just sitting in there, and when the replacements come, I'm hoping the guy remembers to put in the code. And if it doesn't arrive, I might actually go corner him and, you know, nicely ask and say, you know, have you delivered anything? Because the first shipment went missing day before Veterans Day. So, like, that's not really, like, maybe he just forgot to put in the code and it's sitting there, but if my replacement shipment also doesn't arrive, that's going to be a problem, because that's a lot of money and I want my stuff. And honestly, part of me really does wonder if it's just a matter of somebody, like, I have a theory that someone just takes the stuff, to be honest, unless you ask for it, and then it magically shows up the next day. Or, like, I know a guy I used to work with, like, I used to work as a receiver at Michael's, and I would take the UPS shipments, and he would tell me that he wasn't allowed to go home for the end of the day until he finished, like, all his deliveries. And so I'm sure that's probably still the case. So I have the theory that, like, USPS is the same way, and they're not allowed to go home, so, like, they just dump all this stuff in, like, a canal nearby. And, like, yeah, we delivered it, but it's literally just, like, floating down the river. Which I know that's probably not true, but, like, yeah, it just, that's my theory. Let me have it, okay, guys? So there's that. I also, yeah, so I'm excited to show you guys and share with you guys. And I don't know if anyone else is, like, nervous about that with this holiday season. Does anyone else have issues with your packages, like, not arriving? Or I had a really weird one. I had ordered a set of markers that was being discontinued by the company, but you could still buy it on Amazon. Like, they still had some in stock, so I bought it. And I bought a coloring book, and it got all the way to New Orleans, and then suddenly something happened to it, quote unquote, during shipping, and it was undeliverable, and they had to send it back to Amazon, and Amazon actually refunded me, but that was the first time anything like that had ever happened. So, like, my theory is someone just broke my markers and they went everywhere, and, like, there was purple marker everywhere all over the box or something. Because, like, how, otherwise you can't break a coloring book, so I don't know what they would have done. But that made me mad because I was not able to get a replacement because they were discontinued. But I'm just having a rough time with shipments lately, and if I knew anything was coming USPS, I wouldn't have ordered it. But what's irritating me is, like, Amazon is starting to use USPS. I ordered something strictly through Amazon. It was Amazon Prime, and it went to USPS. And I'm going, not okay, you guys. I chose you for a reason. Like, I don't trust USPS to get me my stuff. But apparently I've heard that they're doing that a lot lately. It's to reduce cost or something, or being overwhelmed during the holiday season especially. I don't know. But I'd actually talked to Anthony. He's pretty big into gaming, and as probably some of you kids know, I don't know if many of you are gamers. If you are, you should let me know. And let me know what you like to game, or like what you like to watch other people do. But I am sort of, I don't consider myself a gamer, I'm a casual player, but Anthony is pretty into gaming, and he has a game he's in love with, and so when they announced the PlayStation 5 was coming out, and then the new Xbox, he's very, very interested in both. And I had mentioned, you know, well, why don't we order it online? And he just looked at me and he's like, why would we do that? We would never get it. It would go missing. Like, you know, as soon as anybody even suspected it was a PlayStation, it would be gone. And he's right, unfortunately. Like, he has had stuff stolen. Like, movies and stuff have been taken. So I don't have any doubt that that would actually happen. So it's like, we're just gonna have to try and find it in stores. And that's not gonna happen for a long time because, I mean, if anyone's gone to the store looking for them, you know they're gone. Like, they don't exist in the stores right now. Anthony says it's probably because of scalpers, and I'm starting to think he might be right, because they're about $500 per system for like the Xbox and the PlayStation 5, which isn't terrible considering what they're capable of now. But, you know, people go in there, they buy 2 or 3 or whatever the store has, you spend like $1,500, and then you can go turn around and sell them online for like a fortune. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually what's happening, especially with the holiday season coming up. You're gonna have parents desperate for that stuff. So don't be one of those parents. Don't let yourself get suckered into like paying a fortune for a PlayStation. Alright, she's got... So I'm thinking for this picture, what I'm gonna do is make her kind of like just moonlight themed in general. I looked up like flowers that bloom during the night and things like that, and it's mostly pink and purple and like delicate white flowers. So obviously I don't want the whole picture to be white, and I'm trying to make her as pale as possible and with like really fair blonde hair. I mean, this is honestly probably too blonde. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do highlights for her hair, but that's okay. Like it's okay. It's just a picture. How do I want the light? I think I kind of want the light to be coming from behind her, but that's gonna make her really dark. I mean, she's not gonna be that dark anyway. Let's just do that. Play with shading. So, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, I'm trying to decide how I want to shade her, that's right. So yeah, that's kind of the way things are going right now is, you know, I don't trust the post office, I don't trust much anybody with my stuff. And I was a little bit irritated. I did ask for a refund instead of having this stuff resent by that company, and they just sent it anyway. Which I get why they did that. They don't want to lose their money or whatever, but it's like, I'm not going to get it most likely, and that's going to irritate the shit out of me, the crap out of me, whatever. Sorry guys. So I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. Speaking of which though, with all the holidays coming up, who has started actually shopping for their holidays? I know some people that are actually done with like their holiday shopping, and that's kind of nuts to me. In a good way, like not like a bad nuts, but like I would be scared to buy something way in advance for somebody because I would be afraid they would just go ahead and like buy it themselves. And like I'm talking to Anthony and I'm trying to figure out what he wants so we can get like each other kind of set up. Because we decided we're doing Christmas this year. We haven't done Christmas in a really long time. I think maybe 2 years. And we're actually doing it this year. So I was trying to figure out what he wanted. And he's not really helping. He's like, I just want some models because he likes to put together models. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to buy you. That doesn't help me. But I'll figure it out. And hopefully nothing gets, you know, taken or stolen or anything. So I can already tell you I'm having trouble deciding like where the light is coming from, and it's going to drive me nuts. And I guarantee you I'm going to change my mind like halfway through this picture. I'm going to be like, no, the light should have been coming from over here. Well, it's too late now. Though I have done that before and I was actually able to save it. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean, the good thing about this is it's so pale that you can't really tell anyway. So, there's that. Saving grace. I mean, you guys can see what I'm doing, but you're not going to say anything. You're going to be nice, I hope. So, yeah, things have been kind of crazy. I hope you guys, you know, kind of have your plans set up for the holidays. Is anybody going to do anything with like family? Or Anthony and I were considering like going to hang out with my parents, but they're quite far away. And in the end, we kind of wanted to try camping again. So we're gonna actually have Thanksgiving here. We're gonna make our own little turkey, and we're just going to take like leftovers and go to a state park for Black Friday and that weekend. And we're just gonna kind of camp and hike and hang out. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's our plans, and you know, nice and to ourselves and away from other people. So pretty excited, but nervous at the same time, because camping on the beach is a little different than camping in Louisiana. I bet. I don't know. I say that like I know, and I have no idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness where I know it's going to be dark. And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to touch on with the skin. Looks like it'll be dark here under her hair. Usually what I do for areas that are like really dark is I'll put purple. But I found that in Jade Summer books, it's kind of harsh when you do that. So I'm deciding I'm just going to add a little bit of shade and just kind of let it be, because I don't want it to be too harsh. She's supposed to be delicate. So the more pale I make her look, the better it will be. So what I'm trying to decide here now is I think I want her gown to be like silvery purple and her wings the same thing. So, let's just do it. We're gonna dive right in. What something I found out, which is lovely, I have been having a lot of tooth pain, and I was ignoring it. It started when I was on vacation, and it kept going and it kept going, and honestly, it's gotten to the point where, like, if I don't take ibuprofen, it hurts to talk. Like, the vibration of my voice hurts, which is really weird and not normal. I'm fully aware of that, and finally went to the dentist about it, and he took x-rays, and they were like, well, you have, because the pain is on the bottom left, and they said, you know, well, you have a cavity on the top left, and you know, the pain can radiate, so maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe that's what you're feeling. So I told them to fix it, and they did, and they were very nice, very gentle. And I have not been to the dentist in like a really long time, so that was quite a relief. And they took care of it. Everything was fine, except the pain didn't stop. Like, the cavity was taken care of, but the pain didn't stop. That's not a good sign, obviously. So I figured, I had a cleaning scheduled, which I also have not had done for many years. And I was like, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let them know with the cleaning that it's still not better and see what they want to do. Because when they took the x-rays, they basically said, you know, we see nothing on the bottom left. We just see the cavity, but that doesn't mean there's not like a crack or something like that. And if it still bothers you, let us know, and we'll see what we can do. Well, I have to get x-rays when I'm getting my teeth cleaned anyway, so they took more. And the dentist came in, and he's looking at him, he's like, I still don't see anything. And I told him that it was worse, because it has been getting progressively worse, and I'm trying to explain to him how bad it is. And when I mentioned the whole like vibration of my voice thing, he kind of looks at me and he's like, I've never had someone say that before. And I'm like, well, it's that bad. It is that painful. It's not pleasant. I don't like it. Like, it needs to be fixed. What can you do? And he kind of looks at me and he's like, well, if it's not better after like a week of taking ibuprofen, you know, you might need a root canal. I'm 32 freaking years old. I don't want a root canal. But it obviously hasn't gotten better, and obviously it's going to have to be the case that I need this done, and it's going to cost me a small fortune. But if it makes it better, I'm going to tolerate it. Like, it can't be worse than when I had my wisdom teeth out. That's what I figure. People always like complain about how painful root canals are and stuff, and that might be fact. But I had my wisdom teeth out several years ago. And it was actually one of the last times I went to the dentist. Maybe that's why. But I went and my insurance would not pay for me to be gassed and to be knocked out when they did it. So I was awake, but obviously they numbed me. And all I remember is the Novocaine wearing off halfway through. And it hurt so bad. What they had to do was actually take a needle of Novocaine and they injected it directly into the tooth. That was not fun. But it worked. I mean, obviously it didn't hurt for that long. They were able to finish, and it was mostly just the noises and stuff. Like, it wasn't painful once the Novocaine was properly injected. But after that, I ended up getting dry socket on both sides, even though I followed the dentist's directions exactly. So it's kind of just like, surely it can't be worse than them packing the dry socket. Surely it can't be worse than the Novocaine wearing off halfway through. And this dentist has been practicing for a very long time. He's a very nice person. Like, he's very gentle and very calm. And I don't know if you guys ever experience this, but sometimes, like, my doctors here are really hyper. And when I say hyper, I mean, like, they talk fast, they act, their movements are quick, and it makes me kind of nervous. And I know it's nothing intentional they're doing, but it's just like, calm down, dude. You're making me nervous. You're fidgeting and, like, breathe. So he's very, just got a calming presence. So I'm hoping after, like, $600 for everything, he'll be able to freaking fix it. Because I just want to be able to, like, exist and talk without having to take ibuprofen all the time. I know that's not good for you, so. And that's after insurance, which I'm fortunate to have, but it's kind of still ridiculously expensive. So if anyone's ever had that done, I would love some assurance, down in the comments. Let me know that I'm not gonna be a hot mess for the next week. Alright, so I get that. I'm gonna do this up here. I think I'm about to lose this marker. I use this marker a lot. I have an extra though. When I ordered my second set of OHUHUs, the pretty sure Cool Gray 00's in there again. It's a Cool Gray 2 that isn't, and I use that a lot also. But I'm trying to keep it nice and light for this one. So something else I have done recently is rearranged my art room. Yay! I have been I've been real nervous. I don't know why. I just have. And I've been I don't know, kind of avoiding responsibility and avoiding coloring. I've just been avoiding my art room, which isn't good. I love my art room. But it's like the thought of sitting down and doing something has been more than I could bear. So this is the first time I've been in here for a while, but I actually rearranged it. Anthony helped me. And I think part of the issue I was having was that I was really closed in. I have a desk that's pretty large and it was not built for this room. Anthony built it for me himself, and it was actually in a larger space, so it made sense. But in this room it's so big and it took up so much space and it cut the room in half, and I was just a wreck about it, I guess. But I'm a wreck about everything, so that's not really fair. I'm trying to figure out how the legs go. I don't really know. This is kind of confusing. We're gonna color it so it goes this way. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. Anyway, so basically I cleaned it up. I got everything off the floor because I had a bunch of Anthony's art and canvases and stuff on the floor. So I picked all of that up, and you know, everything has a place now. It's all nice and neat, and I rearranged the way I had my shelves, so like all the stuff I use all the time is readily accessible and available to me. And I like it a lot more now that I have room to breathe and do stuff, and I can recline in my recliner and rock, and you know, even if I'm just like editing a video or watching someone's live stream or watching someone's video, it's way more comfortable now. So it's like rejuvenating me, it's freeing a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't know. When I get nervous and anxious, I clean. So I had a lot of stuff like in my head. Obviously like my dentist stuff and just other things I'm going to talk about soon that are making me a nervous wreck. I haven't been sleeping very well either. That's always fun. But if anybody wants to share how they have their little art space arranged, or share our art space even, you guys should do that. I was thinking about making a short little video. I actually have one on my Facebook page of like the before and after from when I fixed my studio. You know, my quote-unquote studio. Basically my art room to when, oh, that's so bad. From when I fixed my art room, from the before and after kind of shots. I do have that on my Facebook, but I might release a different one on YouTube where it's not so gross and kind of cleaned up and maybe a little bit more in depth of like what I have. But I have to be careful because I also have supplies you guys haven't seen yet, so I don't want to ruin any of the surprises. But I always kind of like seeing other people's setups because you get ideas that you don't have for your own. Marker storage is always what I'm super interested in seeing. A lot of people buy like shelf units or something, and I kind of want Anthony to make me one, but he has trouble building stuff because we're in an apartment and we don't have space for him to have a workshop. But anyway, I would love to see your art spaces. I'm trying to focus on not getting it everywhere, but it's so hard. I hate using the chisel. The chisel is my enemy. There we go. There we go. That doesn't look too terribly bad. I mean, it got a little streaky down here, but that's okay. I mean, she still looks fair. She's definitely going to look fair compared to the background, because that's going to be like dark blue. I had no idea I've been rambling for this long. How am I still barely through the character? Alright, I hope you guys have been able to see. But you're probably not watching anyway. I'm hoping you're working on your own craft. Which you should let me know what that is. Are you guys doing diamond painting? That's like such a big thing. The more I see it, the more curious I get about it, but I'm pretty sure Anthony would die if I took up another hobby. So, I don't know. I would love to know if anybody else like does gaming, or if anybody else is like an illustrator or like an artist of some kind. Or I know that I'm part of a Facebook group, and there's people there to do like latch hook, and I didn't even know what latch hook was, and that was so cool to see. I mean, that's pretty neat. I've been thinking about getting back into crochet. My friend does that, and she makes beautiful like rugs and shirts and stuff, and it's like, I want to go back to that. I was never very good at it, but I could make a somewhat square blanket. Somewhat. So yeah, there's that. But for the big announcement, I'm sorry to kind of wedge it in here like this deep. I was not sure I was even going to talk about it, but I probably should. So, starting in December, I have accepted a job. I'm actually going back to my old position at my old company, and I'm going to be doing remote work. So I'm going to be working full-time again, and it's mostly just a decision to do that to help me afford art supplies. But I also have goals of like paying off my student loans sooner rather than later. Anthony and I have very specific hope to be able to retire early and kind of enjoy our lives after the Coast Guard, because he is he is military. And so we're hoping that once he finishes his, tours and he gets to that age where he can get out, he won't have to work again. We would like to be able to move around, camp, do a lot of camping and just go see stuff, live life. Because everybody that we know so far, family-wise, friend-wise, they put off retirement until they really can't enjoy it. Like his parents are not able to retire. My parents did retire, but like I kind of feel like it was, I don't know, maybe they're enjoying it, but like they're tied down to a house. They have different dreams and aspirations. We want to be very active and go from place to place and be able to afford to, pay campground fees and, go to national parks. And we want to do a lot of traveling, which is very expensive. So it was kind of decided that with the job now being remote, it will be a good idea for me to try to go back and build a savings, pay off our debts, so we can make our dream a reality before we get too old to the point where we're not able to do it. I already have issues with my hips. My legs hurt a lot, and I have trouble sleeping sometimes because of the pain in my legs. And so it's like, I'm 32 years old. If we wait till we're 60, I might not be able to do anything. And it's really kind of eye-opening, but some people might think it's lazy, and different folks, different strokes, whatever the term is. That's our goal. That's what we want, and I'm going to go back to work to help that happen. We are okay financially without me working, but I feel like we would be there faster and be in a better position if I were to go back, earn some income, help build a savings, and help to build our dream, basically. And I feel the need to go through all that because there's some people that are going to be upset by my decision. I know they are. I'm probably going to get a phone call about it later, but that is what's happening. And I think I'm going to make her, yeah, I'm going to do this. That's what's happening, and that's just what's going to happen. So I am going back. I have a start date, and it's early December, which means things are going to be different for the channel as well. I don't plan to quit making videos. Far from it. I think what's going to happen is there's probably going to be more coloring videos, because coloring is relaxing. Coloring is honestly easier than trying to film myself sketching and then putting together, clips of me completing a full illustration and things like that. Those things take time, and I've been struggling with that for a while because I feel the more I kind of try to rush out an illustration piece, something that I've done completely myself, the more I try to get something done every week, the less I like it. And so what I think is going to happen is there will still be original art on the channel. I know most of you aren't even here for that, so that's okay. Just watch whatever you want to watch. If it's coloring stuff, that's great. You're probably going to see a lot more of it. There will still be art, but it's going to be less frequent. It's going to be stuff I take my time with, and it's going to be, I would say, every couple weeks maybe, because it's going to take more time. I'm going to be more tired, but that's okay. I also have been highly encouraged lately to start kind of branching out. Not so much on the channel as with just like skill set in general. I've been wanting to dabble with like paintings and stuff like that, and I really want to branch into some digital art. So you might see a lot of that on my Instagram, which I always link down in the description. But I've also been encouraged to kind of start working more seriously towards like actually creating my own coloring book pages, or actually illustrating, you know, a children's book, things like that. So I have a lot of projects I'm going to work on. My only concern is having enough time to actually do it at this point. So the channel itself, like in summary, for too long, don't want to listen, the channel's probably going to be taking a direction for a lot of coloring and kind of like, you know, now that I'm going to have money coming in that I wouldn't otherwise have, I'm going to be kind of experimenting with other art supplies. So you'll see more of those videos, I'm willing to bet. And you're going to see more coloring and just kind of rambling and chatting, because this is really helpful for me. Even if no one watches it, it's helpful to get it off my chest. And I have to be really careful because obviously I don't want to, like, you know, say anything or divulge too much information about the company, or, you know, like, I have to be very careful because there's HIPAA involved with this job I have. So I wouldn't obviously be naming names or anything like that, but it's just nice to kind of talk because it is an office type environment, and that can drive people a little crazy. So it'll be nice to kind of have input and just a way to get it out that I wouldn't otherwise have. So I'm really looking forward to continuing my coloring chats, even if there's simpler stuff like this, even if they're not as long, it's gonna be okay. I'm still gonna be around, I'm still gonna be doing stuff. So I just kind of wanted to give people a heads up that might not be expecting that. Because some people do watch my channel for the art, and I don't want it to be like it kind of came out of nowhere and no one knew what was going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color her wings silver. But I kind of want to do I won't do her wings. We'll get the character done. Maybe the moon. We'll see what we're looking at time-wise. And then I'm definitely going to do the background and stuff off camera. And I'm going to add some details, because I always do. I can't help myself, you guys. I'm going to add those kind of details off camera, and I'll post up the finished product on my Instagram, which I hope you guys will definitely check out, because I got lots of cool stuff on there. So that was my big announcement, though. I am going back to work. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be trying to keep up with the channel, trying to keep up with my Instagram. It's going to be kind of crazy, but it'll be done. It's doable. Everything is going to be fine. I definitely feel like this marker's trying to die on me, though. But I kind of like the way it looks. I might need to go dig out the other one I have. You're not gonna work. Is it better on this side? Oh yeah, see, this is plummy juicy, but it's just on the chisel side. And I store my markers horizontally, by the way. I do not stack them. So definitely in the future keep an eye out for my November haul, because it's going to be a big one. Super excited to show you guys. I almost can't stand it. I almost want to do it right now, but I'm not. I can't. I won't. I'm going to wait. You guys just have to wait with me, because I'm really hoping, like, the shipment that was lost is supposed to arrive Friday. So if it arrives Friday, I'm going to scream and do a happy dance, maybe on camera, I don't know. And you guys are going to have definitely some sneak peeks. 'Cause I can't stand it. I'm so excited. I almost wanted to use some of those materials for this picture, but I didn't. I was good. Oh, so something else, you guys. I have started reading again. I actually started reading during the hurricane when we lost power. And I found a book called The Snow Child. I had it in my library for a really long time, and I started reading it and I put it down, and I don't know, I stopped reading for a while. And I have been having trouble kind of getting back into the writing groove, so when that happens, it's always good to read. Like, if you ever get stuck and you're a writer and you just can't get that flair back for your writing, reading always helps. Like, that's always, oh man, I got it on her hair. Always worked for me. So I started reading, and it was a really good book. It was called The Snow Child. I think it was by A.O. and Ivy. And it was kind of like, it was one of those books that was a little ambiguous. Like, you couldn't tell, because it's based off a fairy tale about an old man and an old woman that are not able to have children of their own, and so one night they make a snow child, like a little snowman that resembles a child, and it comes to life. And the book is based largely off that. But what's interesting about it is they're like homesteading in Alaska in like the 1920s, I think. And it's about their life trying to survive out there, but also like they find this little girl after they build a snow child in the snow, and you never really find out whether or not it's, you know, more fantastical, like if this is actually a fairy tale child, or if it was just a girl. Like, you never, the author intentionally left the ending very ambiguous, and I loved it. And it was really captivating because you saw the family grow. You saw like them beginning to really understand their farm, really start kind of coming into their own as homesteaders. There's another family where you kind of watch one of their sons grow up, and it's a really good book, and it's written really nicely. The tone fits, like everything fit. I really liked it. So I highly recommend it for anybody that wants, like, I would say it's more fiction than anything, which is what I was hunting for. I didn't want to read any more sci-fi or fantasy right now. So if you're looking for something fiction, something that's probably going to make you cry a little bit, but not necessarily bawl your eyes out, like, it was a good book, and I hope she comes out with more in the future. I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting to like it that much, but I did. And it was one of those books that I couldn't stop thinking about even after I put it down. So that's how you know it's actually decent. I really liked it, so I'm gonna make my friend read it so we can talk about it. And it actually did help, by the way. For anybody curious, I did start my story again, and it kind of irritated me because, oh, this is dying actually. It did irritate me because I caught a big plot hole and I had to rewrite so many pages. But I mean, it's better that I catch it now instead of like at the end when I have to rewrite the whole book entirely. So I'm okay with that. But I really, really recommend that book for anybody that wants to give it a shot. I have another one picked out. It's also fiction. It's called, I think it's A Man Called Ove, O-V-E. That looks like it'll be an interesting book. It's basically a grumpy old man, aka me. I don't know much about it. I haven't really started it yet, but it looks like it'll be good. So I'm really optimistic. And if anyone has recommendations for good fiction books, just kind of like feel-good books, is what I kind of need right now. Feel free. I mean, recommend below. I need to read more. I need to be exposed to more genres than just sci-fi, because sci-fi is irritating me. So, this is our fairy Moonlight Princess. It's screaming for some gel pens, I think. I definitely need to bring those into this. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here. I've talked for like, I don't know, 45 minutes. That's more than enough time. I've made my announcement regarding the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please keep an eye out for this on my Instagram. It's going to appear there once it's finished. And hopefully it doesn't take me too terribly long. I like to think it's going to be a pretty quick one. So for anybody that has liked the video or made it this far, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like colorings or coloring chats or hauls, things like that, because you're going to be seeing more of those in the future than probably anything else. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely feel better, and I always kind of like talking to you guys. I don't know if that's good or not, but I enjoyed my time with you, and I hope you enjoyed it too. So thank you so much. You guys have a good week, and as always, stay safe.